The Brazilian rainforest once echoed with a vibrant symphony of life. Among the chorus of creatures lived a bird of striking beauty, the Spix's macaw. This magnificent parrot, with its azure feathers and piercing gaze, was a symbol of the rainforest's rich biodiversity. However, the Spix's macaw's song, like that of many others, was slowly silenced. Deforestation ripped apart its home, leaving it vulnerable and exposed. The echoes of its calls faded, and by the turn of the millennium, the Spix's macaw vanished from the wild. The last confirmed sighting of a wild Spix's macaw was in 2000. The species, once teeming in the Brazilian state of Bahia, had been driven to extinction in its natural habitat. The vibrant blue feathers, the playful nature, the piercing calls, all gone silent. The story of the Spix's macaw serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of human actions on the natural world. The tale of the Spix's macaw is not unique. It is a story repeated countless times across the globe, a testament to the ongoing biodiversity crisis. Species are disappearing at an alarming rate, and the primary driver behind this mass extinction event is us, humans. Our activities, driven by a relentless pursuit of progress and expansion, are leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The loss of any species is a tragedy, a thread in the intricate tapestry of life forever broken. But the extinction of the Spix's macaw, a creature so full of life and colour, is a particularly poignant reminder of the urgent need for conservation. We must act now, or risk losing countless other species to the ever-growing shadow of extinction. One of the most significant threats to species survival is habitat loss. As humans continue to expand their footprint on the planet, we encroach upon wild spaces, leaving animals without homes. Forests are cleared for agriculture, wetlands are drained for development, and grasslands are paved over for urban sprawl. This relentless destruction deprives species of the resources they need to survive: food, water, and shelter. Imagine a bustling city suddenly erected in the heart of a rainforest. The once lush canopy is replaced by concrete and steel. The air, once filled with the sounds of exotic birds, is now choked with traffic. This is the reality for countless species facing habitat loss. They are forced to compete for dwindling resources in shrinking territories, making them more susceptible to disease and predation. The impact of habitat loss is particularly devastating for species that are highly specialized to their environments. Take, for example, the Sumatran orangutan. This critically endangered ape relies on the dense rainforests of Indonesia for its survival. However, rampant deforestation for palm oil plantations has decimated its habitat, pushing the species to the brink of extinction. Habitat loss is not just a problem for charismatic megafauna like orangutans, it affects every species on Earth, from the smallest insects to the largest whales. As we continue to fragment and destroy natural habitats, we are pushing countless species towards a precarious existence, increasing the risk of extinction. The Earth's climate is changing at an unprecedented rate, largely due to human activities that release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat, causing global temperatures to rise, disrupting weather patterns and altering ecosystems. The consequences of climate change are far-reaching, affecting every corner of the planet and every living organism. For many species, climate change is a slow and insidious threat. As temperatures rise, so too do sea levels, inundating coastal habitats and forcing species to migrate to higher ground. However, for some, the impacts are more immediate and dramatic. Extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, droughts, and wildfires, are becoming more frequent and intense, causing widespread devastation and displacing entire populations. Consider the plight of the polar bear, an iconic symbol of the Arctic. As global temperatures rise, the sea ice that polar bears rely on for hunting seals is melting at an alarming rate. This loss of hunting grounds leaves polar bears stranded on land, where they are forced to scavenge for food, often going hungry for extended periods. Climate change is not just a future threat, it is happening now. Its impacts are already being felt across the globe, and they are only going to intensify in the coming decades. If we fail to address climate change, we risk losing countless species and irrevocably altering the delicate balance of life on Earth. Section 4. The poison in our world. Pollution in its many forms is another major contributor to species decline and extinction. From the air we breathe to the water we drink, pollution contaminates the environment, poisoning wildlife and disrupting ecosystems. Industrial waste, agricultural runoff and plastic pollution are just a few examples of the ways in which humans are polluting the planet. Imagine a river once teeming with life, now choked with plastic waste. Fish struggle to breathe, birds mistake plastic for food, and the entire ecosystem suffers. This is the grim reality of pollution, a silent killer that knows no boundaries. One of the most insidious forms of pollution is chemical pollution. Pesticides, herbicides, and other toxic chemicals are released into the environment, where they accumulate in the food chain, poisoning wildlife and disrupting delicate ecosystems. For example, the widespread use of DDT, a powerful insecticide, nearly wiped out the bald eagle population in the United States. Pollution is a complex and multifaceted problem with far-reaching consequences. It is a threat to all life on Earth, and it requires a concerted global effort to address. We must reduce our reliance on harmful chemicals, dispose of waste responsibly, and transition to cleaner, more sustainable practices to protect our planet and its inhabitants. Section 5. Intruders in the ecosystem. Invasive species, introduced to new environments either intentionally or accidentally by humans, pose a significant threat to native species and ecosystems. These invaders often outcompete native species for resources, disrupt food webs, and introduce diseases leading to biodiversity loss and ecosystem collapse. Imagine a pristine island ecosystem untouched by human hands, suddenly invaded by rats from a passing ship. The rats, with no natural predators, multiply rapidly, devouring native birds' eggs, decimating insect populations and disrupting the delicate balance of the island. One striking example of the devastating impact of invasive species is the introduction of the brown tree snake to the island of Guam after World War II. The snake, with no natural predators, quickly spread across the island, decimating native bird populations and causing widespread ecological damage. Invasive species are a global problem with significant economic and ecological consequences. They cost billions of dollars annually in damage and control efforts and threaten the integrity of ecosystems worldwide. Preventing the introduction and spread of invasive species is crucial for protecting biodiversity and maintaining healthy ecosystems.